So thanks for joining us today or this evening, wherever you are. I'm so excited to have you join us for another Messages from Heaven. We haven't done this for a while. I can't remember the last time. It's been probably a few months. As some of you know, I've been working on finishing our book, and I'm finishing the first draft, revision of the first draft, and it's going in next week. So we just want to make sure that that we explain to you how this day is going to work. We're going to have you, when, we're going to have you, whoever wants to have a reading, raise your hand. There's a reaction button you might be able to see down the bottom, and you can just hit raise hand, and we're going to select randomly from that group. Now, we request that if you want a reading, that you have your camera on. And please don't raise your hand just yet, because we're not ready for that. So I'm going to just ask you to lower your hand. I want everybody raising their hand, because that is not going to get you to the head of the line. There's no line. We're just going to randomly choose you. So when I say we're starting, then you can do that. And if you can, everybody can mute themselves. That would help, so there's no background noise. Just be sure you're muted. You can see on the bottom left where it says mute. You should be able to see whether you're muted or not. Yeah, Chris is saying there's some audio running at the same time. Is everyone muted? Okay, I think so. I don't hear anything now. Yeah, thanks for staying muted. I still hear something. So please lower your hands. We're not choosing anyone for reading just yet. It's going to be a little bit. I'm going to introduce my guests and also talk a little bit about, I really want to talk about the whole concept of mediumship in general anyway, because as some of you might know, there's a lot of interest in direct communication with the other side. And that is something that I was very interested in, as would anybody be if they're attempting to reconnect with their loved one in spirit. And it was something that my husband, Alan, who's on the other side, was very much focused on finding out for me, for us. So, oh, okay, I got that. So he actually did make a breakthrough on that, and he led me to discover something called Loving Heart Connections. I'm not going to go really all in depth about that, but I will say that it has been a complete game changer for me in terms of being able to connect with him. It just keeps getting stronger every day, and I already had a pretty strong connection, but he showed me that it can always grow deeper. So wherever you're at with it, even if you're just beginning with this, even if you feel like you can't talk to your loved one or even see them sometimes, there's more that you can develop, but it does take time. And what I've come to understand is it's because on our end, we have to adjust to this process. It's not something that you could just take off like a rocket with. If you did, it would really distort you. It would throw you off. You'd find it difficult to probably function in the 3D world, because what we're really talking about is living in between the two worlds and being able to traverse that very much the same way that mediums do. They learn how to navigate the two worlds. Well, basically, that's what we all need to do. And that's why I'm sure many of you have perhaps even discovered yourself or become interested in learning about mediumship. Okay. The thing is, because my husband was a medium, he knew full well that mediumship wasn't easy to learn, to do mediumship for other people. That actually it's a very rare gift in the sense of being able to do it for others. It's not hard though to do it for yourself. In other words, for you to be your own medium, but you have to know the way, like how to do that. You don't need to take mediumship training. I would never be able to do that. I don't have the time for that anyway. But But I do have the time to work with my husband on the other side to facilitate our connection. I know there's some people who are on this call who've experienced loving heart connections, and they may have varying success with that connection with their loved one on the other side. And I've seen that with my clients, they vary in their ability to connect. But I will say that it's something that if you apply it and you do it regularly, it is totally something that can lead to a full connection. I mean, I have no doubt of it, based on what I'm experiencing myself and what I've been hearing from my husband and from spirit from the other side. So I'd encourage people to look at that. I'm not trying to say, hey, come book a session with me, although I do facilitate those sessions. Just look into it. Okay. You are free to message me, send me an email. If you're in my Facebook group, drop me a message, whatever, post something there if you're in our Facebook group. But look into it, because this is possible. And I don't think it was really that easy to connect until recently. That's what Alan's told me. It's become easier because the veil is thinning. So please, if you're trying to connect with a loved one on your side, especially someone is your partner, and you want to maintain that connection, then look at this. And if you have had a loving heart connection session and haven't made that contact, please don't give up. You don't know what you have in your hands. You really don't. And that's why Alan has asked me to actually to offer a little more support and coaching for people, because I'm so into this. I'm kind of learning like the ins and outs and really seeing like what is required. So yeah, don't give up. This, I don't want to call it technology. It's a modality really, but it's something that's easy to learn, takes a couple of hours, but once you have it, you're good to go. So please check into that. Reach out to me if you like. My email address is pamjohnson808@gmail. I'll drop in the contact info later, but yeah, let me know. Also, we will be sending out this replay by email. So if you registered for today's event, you'll get it in your inbox. So if you want that contact info, it'll be in there. If you want to look at this video later, you'll put it there. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I just wanted to let you know that there are ways to reach through the veil, and yeah, please don't think it's impossible. It absolutely is. And the more people who do this, the veil gets thinner for the rest of us, and pretty soon, it's a whole different world. So on to tonight. So we're going to do mediumship readings. Maria, my friend Maria, is going to join me. I'm going to introduce her in a second, and then my other friend Kathy. Both of them, let us just say, both of them have contact with Alan. Kathy actually met Alan in person. Maria didn't. She talked to him on the phone when he was in a body, but she didn't get to meet him in person. But he's since really made himself at home, literally, at her house. She could talk about that if she wants to. So he's around her all the time. Kathy is a very dear friend who began as one of our students and quickly became almost like a second daughter to Alan. And she talks to him too, probably not as much as Maria. And she's probably grateful for that because he was probably rather intrusive. But both of them are very strong natural mediums. And so I've invited them to come and share their gifts with you tonight. And I'll be here too, but at giving, I don't know if I want to say it's a reading. The gift that I have with Alan is you're really able to help people more fine-tune their connection between the veil. I'm finding that sometimes what's blocking the connection could be that there's some unresolved issues. Now, that was the case for Alan and me. I mean, really. Our journey's been a little rough on the communication side, believe it or not. The communication comes through strong in writing, but in telepathy, it's been a little harder because he was so afraid to hurt me, let me down. And so it just became a problem. And I realized, okay, well, other people are going to have their own set of problems because they have other issues they may need to clean up. And if they don't, then that's going to get in the way, including if one is afraid of the other side, because I've worked with clients in my loving heart connection sessions who actually ended up having fear about the other side. So that's going to inhibit your ability to connect too. And sometimes people don't realize they even have that fear until they have a session like they have with me, and we identify it. And in this one person's example, her husband came through and said, well, you can't see me yet because you're afraid. She could hear him, but she couldn't see him. And then she realized, oh, I am afraid. Like, you're right, I'm afraid. So she didn't even know that. And that, of course, was a barrier to her. So sometimes we don't even understand what the problem is. And Alan's chiming in and saying, and sometimes the problem could be with your loved one on the other side. Like, he had the fear that he was going to hurt me that I didn't know he had. And this was causing us a problem because he would talk to me, then he'd back away. Then he'd talk to me, then he'd back away. And I go, what is going on? So that can happen to people. And you think that it's all your problem, right? You think like, well, nothing could be wrong with them. It must be me. Well, that's not necessarily true. It could be that they feel so remorseful, like Alan felt, so bad about how he treated me. And he was just terrified. I don't want to hurt her again. I went through that life review. It was so painful. I don't want to do that to her again. So it was holding him back. So really, you don't know. So we want to work with people who feel they need a little help with that. So if you want that, then I would say post in the chat. And put my name to that, okay, so I'll know that's what you're interested in. So it's just clear on that, okay? And we're going to randomly choose people. So before we get to that part, before we say you can raise your hands, not yet. I'm going to introduce first Maria and say really briefly that I met Maria when she was here in Hawaii. She had a reading with me while she was here, and then we met and immediately became friends. And we lost touch a bit once she moved away and got remarried, and as life happens. But when Alan passed away, all of a sudden my Facebook messages showed up in her feed. So she found out that Alan had passed, and we reconnected. And Alan's saying, and the rest is history. So here we are now. So Alan has kind of identified her, well, a while ago as our soul daughter. You know, he's the one who came through and told me that. And I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. So that's why he kind of hangs around her a lot, and she talks to him constantly. So I'm going to let Maria.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say the rest is history. The rest is he showed up at my doors with 2 suitcases and moved into my garage.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I didn't even realize how much I could hear the other side until Alan simply showed up here, and I just started realizing that he talked to me nonstop and still hasn't stopped and is still talking. And I have to say I've enjoyed every second of it. But it's not only him. My grandfather now comes by, and a lot of my family that's on the other side. And sometimes I'll get a random person showing up, and I know I have to talk to that person in the group for whatever reason. And I've done that too. So you just never know.
Yeah, and that just shows that the loved ones on the other side, they can kind of move in with us, whoever they are, and be around us all the time, talking about them. So yeah. I'm so glad you're here, and you'll be choose. Okay, he's just joking with me. He's saying, yeah, she'll be choosing victims.
Of course,
not people to read. He says they're choosing. This is his sense of humor. Okay, I can't get away from it.
Yeah, and he calls me his minion too.
Yeah, his minion. Yes, you're his minion.
Totally takes advantage of me.
Okay. So thanks, Maria. I'm just going to come back here, and I'm going to introduce Kathy, our good friend Kathy. She's a very strong medium, and I know she sees spirit. And let's see, I've got some noise in the background. If everybody can be sure you're muted. Thank you. Okay. No, sometimes it's hard because you unmute yourself without realizing it. It's fine. So Kathy, would you like to come join me and unmute yourself? I'm going to bring you in here. Hi.
Hi, I'm Kathy. I've been a student of Pam and Alan's for many years now. It was Alan who helped me get to where I am today too, in the mediumship side. After his passing, I would hear him tell me things, and not only Alan, but I lost a daughter 3 years ago, and her name was Bailey. And after she passed, she started showing up in signs. She would show me signs, and then she would start telling me things, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, okay." So and then that's when I started playing games with her, and I would be like, "Oh, Bailey, if you're here, show me a sign."
I think that was Bailey. I think we lost your audio. I feel like Bailey's getting all excited. She's going to work with you with your readings.
Yes, she's always with me, and that's kind of where I always try to tell people that your loved ones are always there with you, because she always gives me signs, and she's always trying to tell me to tell people, no, they're there with them. They're there with them. Just look for them. Just feel them. You'll feel them, you know? Um, yeah, and I had a loving heart connection with Pam too. And I got to see Bailey again. And she came to me and she explained to me all kinds of things, why she came into my life and what she was there for. I got to also see my brother-in-law, who had just recently passed, and make that connection with him. And I helped my sister-in-law by giving her the message that I saw. But yeah, so that's how it was for me.
That's so great. I've seen that with people in the Loving Heart Connection sessions, that their loved one comes through and explains what they learn now. Like when they're alive, they said, I wish I had less fear. I wish I had done this. Please, don't you make the same mistake. It's really interesting. They want to come through and really tell us and try to help us, right? To bring us peace, or let us know that they're good. They're not doing not just well, but great. That they're thriving, and it's so beautiful when that happens.
Right. So, and a lot of the and also the reason of why they were in your life and what was the lesson for that too.
What was their lesson for their here?
Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy. Now Kathy is going to it's her first time joining us for Messages from Heaven. So she's going to sit back for a little while while Maria and I work, and she'll let me know if she's ready to kind of dip her toe in the water. Although Alan wants to throw her in the deep end of the pool, so I don't know if he has his way. But we're glad you're here, and just let me know when you're ready, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Kath. So now you can raise your hand if you'd like to be chosen for a reading. And as I said at the start, we're going to select randomly, and we're going to select only those who have their camera on. We want to engage with you. No, we can't necessarily see, well, we could see, it doesn't, we can oftentimes we can hear your loved one. We might not see them, might or might not, but we want to see you. So that's kind of our request. And so we'll choose that from there. And I know some of you might be messaging me directly, but because I'm presenting, I can't really stop and reply to you. So please forgive me. You can always reach out to me if you want privately, like off here, like if you want to send me an email or something, or if you're in my group, like post there, questions, whatever, what have you there. But for today, I've got to focus on what we're doing and doing the readings. So see here, Kelly Johnson says she has a block too. So I think I'll start here. And Kelly, if you're willing to come on camera, can you? That's what I'm going to require if you want me to help you with that. Alan's nodding his head, saying yes, he wants to work with you.
I'm Kelly. I'm here. I'm waving my hand. Can you see me?
Hold on, I have a sea of faces. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, I see you there. All right,
there I am.
Hold on, I see you. Hold on a second. Okay, great. So I got you on camera with me. first of all, you're attempting to connect with someone on the other side and you feel you have a block to that? Is that
Yeah,
the
right.
situation? So
Um,
who is it?
my telepathy opened up almost at once, and I've been talking to a lot of people, and I'd had a need to actually talk to a lot of people, so that was great. And my grandpa and my grandma came on last time I was on here, and my grandma just passed about a year ago. So they combined, they came together, and they've been working together, my grandma and my grandpa. So I know that they've been in my mind, but for the last, I would say 2 months,
Hmm.
they've gone silent, and almost all my people I could rely on went silent. And then this trickster person presented himself as the main character in my mind. Like, I would like to know exactly if somebody has some ideas what's going on, because I feel like the fear factor is coming up, because my grandpa, I know, used to have my grandpa and his father used to have this interplay where they would kind of play practical jokes on one another. I feel
Okay.
like they may feel like that is just becoming a part of my life, and they want to back off and pull that away. But then others have come in and see that as a fun thing, and it's kind of destroying my life in some ways, because it's becoming a physical reality and not just a mental thing. So I would like to know what I can rely on and what I should back away from. Or should I just back away from it all and just try to live my real life and not try to have telepathy with the other side? You know what I mean?
Okay. I think so. When you say it's affected your physical reality, how exactly is that? What do you mean by that? What exactly is happening in the physical sense?
Well, sometimes when I'm playing my violin, they will start moving my fingers, and then I'll play wrong notes, and it's become a game. So I'm a professional violinist. So when I sit and play a concert and people are moving my fingers, thank you, spiritual lovelies. I love you, but please leave me alone. You know what I mean? This is a
Okay.
problem. Is it coming from me? Or is it a
Well,
trickster thing that people are using to try to affect me?
okay.
Like, I'm
So
trying to figure out what's
what it
telepathy
what
and
it
what's
what it
reality,
what it
right?
is.
What
So
do I affect and what do I don't affect?
well, you affect all of it. You
Right.
affect all of it. So we don't live in a universe that's actually, believe it or not, intrusive. It's
Hmm.
actually always more responsive,
That's what I
meaning
feel.
that it's all coming from us.
Right.
It's not being directed at us, even though it looks like it. You know, it looks like, well, this spirit doing this to me.
Right.
What so there's nothing out there to fix. We always look here to fix because it's
Exactly.
never out there.
That's me, and always
And
has been.
well, hold
Fix
on,
self, right?
let me just um, I what I'm getting when I scan you is I feel that there's trauma that is been buried, and so stuff is coming out now, and it's manifesting in this phenomenon with you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so in the beginning, it was all easy or fun, that's fine, but then now trauma is kind of coming out,
Okay.
and I feel it's complicated. I don't think it's like one thing. Alan's telling
Exactly.
me we're going to work on your energy right now.
Okay.
Okay, we can only do so much in the short time we have because we're only going to do about 10
I
minutes
understand. I
or so
just
here.
need a
But
better understanding of
so
what I can do.
I'm seeing like three different. I just want to say three different perhaps incidents that happened in your past, like that created trauma. There's like cracks in your soul. Let's say we all have that. The soul gets damaged. You know, we go through
Okay.
things and it can get repaired. There's nothing that's really gone wrong permanently, but oftentimes it takes until we go to the other side that it gets repaired. But while we're here, you know, it can cause a lot of distress and discord. So just give me a moment. So okay, here's what I'm hearing him suggest. So if you were to say that this discord that you're describing okay,
Mhm.
might be in your body. Okay, where might it be? And just go with your intuition. Where do you think this would be? If you can identify a place, whether it's in your heart, your head, your knee, your right hand, like where do you think this would be?
Are you asking me a
Yeah, I'm
specific
asking
place?
you. Where
It
do you feel
starts in
this
my
would
head
be?
and it's a voice, and then
Yeah.
it acts in my body. That's how
So is that where, if you're going to
goes. But
say
it
that's
doesn't
where you
always
feel,
happen. Sometimes
but
there's
that, okay,
silent.
I feel that's right. I feel that's right. So hold on a minute. He's also saying you're like wide open.
Yeah.
So we need to kind of put some boundaries there. Okay, you're like too wide open. Again, it's trauma. People don't understand that the one reason why people are highly empathic is actually
Mhm.
because they're carrying a lot of trauma. I've
Exactly.
never met a single person that was a high level empath that didn't have a lot of unresolved trauma.
Yeah.
And when the trauma is healed, then the empathy goes to normal. We
Okay.
have a normal sense of empathic sensitivity. So there's no workaround for that except clearing the trauma. There just isn't. This, in fact, developing psychic ability is just going to kind of add more to
I
the
know. I know what you
mix
mean.
because now you're more sensitive.
It
But the
magnifies yourself
right,
and
and
everybody
the
else.
empathy and the psychic ability was born out of trauma when somebody's
Mhm.
empathic because it came from a need to protect. So I'm under attack, so I need to fully open my psychic ability so I know what's coming. Okay,
Mhm.
that's a really distorted way of living. And again, so we're going to clear some trauma with you right now, but there's a lot more work you got to do here.
Okay.
But this is, and Alan says he's going to work on you for the next few hours. So what he was saying is that he suggests that you rest today, drink a lot of water and rest and just lie still. He or we are going to work on you remotely for he's saying the next 3 hours. So
Okay.
let me know how this goes for you. You know, drop me an email or what have you. Let me
Okay.
know. But we're going to, he says we can take like one layer off, right? Like peel the onion. We're going to take one layer of the onion off, but there's many other layers
Yep.
that need to come off.
I thought I
But
was
yeah, I
clean.
would,
That's what's really strange. Is like suddenly it's all back again. So that's the problem. There's a key to here, and I'm
it's
trying to figure
okay.
it out.
It's all good. This is all good. I
Mhm.
know it doesn't feel good, but this is good when you can like detoxing.
Mhm.
So when it comes out, it's not going to feel really nice,
Right.
but you want it out rather than in. So it's fine. So this means you're ready to deal with it. So
Okay.
just let it come out. But
Thank
he's
you.
showing me peeling the onion and
Mhm.
then yeah, if you want it, we're going to talk about this next Sunday when we do a healing Zoom meeting, and we're going to talk about the healings that we're now doing, but we can definitely address this in a healing session. But we'll talk about that next Sunday if you want to join us for that, or you can
Sure.
email me and we can talk about it later. But he's coming back saying, yeah, people need to heal their trauma. It is blocking their connection with the other side, it's blocking their living their life. And it just that when you talk to people about healing trauma, it just doesn't sound sexy, right? It's like,
Nope.
no, we want to open our third eye. We want to walk through a wall. We want to be clairvoyant. No, you need to heal your trauma, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
gonna pull you
You
back
can't
to the
hide your
curb.
closet once you're clairvoyant. You have to be clean before then.
You will be more distorted if you open up psychically and haven't cleared what's in your basement. I will
Yeah.
guarantee you that. Okay, so keep
All
so
right. Well,
faith.
thank you.
Let me know, and let me know. Reach out to me if you need to. You know, I like to hear how you're doing. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank
good
you.
luck with that. You're welcome. You're so
Appreciate
welcome.
it. Mhm.
You're welcome. So Maria, where are you?
I'm here.
Okay.
Well, I have a very, very annoying voice here bugging me. Um, Not that the person is annoying, it's just the insistence.
There you go.
And I guess I'm just gonna cave in. So where is she? Elizabeth.
Hi, Maria. An annoying voice, huh?
Annoying voice.
Here, I'm going to add
Annoying.
spotlight. Here you
Annoying.
go.
My baby.
Very annoying.
Oh, not annoying, just
Insistent.
insistent.
Persistent.
Yes, persistent.
Yes, that's better. Not my baby.
Well, what do you, should I ask you what you want from Becky, or should I ask what Becky wants from you?
What does she want? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah. What does she
Well,
want
she's
me to
starting
know?
off saying, hi, baby, in a very lovey-dovey voice, you know.
Aw, hi,
She's like,
baby.
she's like melting herself over here. But yeah, she was sitting here going like, pick Elizabeth, pick Elizabeth. And I'm like, Becky, no, we've already talked. But I always cave in.
That's funny because I was like thinking, Maria, pick us at the time.
Then I'm gonna blame you too.
It's all right, you know we're a team.
Yeah, I know. You guys I gang up on me. How's your communication with her been lately?
I mean, I could feel her presence.
But have you
Really
been
good.
talking to her? You
Yeah,
have?
yeah. I
And
talk to her a lot.
And you hear her when she talks to you?
So, sometimes, yeah, telepathically.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, because I keep hearing that she's talking to you a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, it's probably nonstop. It's almost like I feel like she's out of breath because she's going talking, you know, she won't stop talking at all.
Really? Because I've been asking her all kinds of questions about the baby and about, yeah, and about, you know, like we had this big celebration week and how she liked it, and yeah, just a lot of things. So
yeah, well, I guess we should explain what the baby is all about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
just so everybody else knows what's going on. Well, I had a session with Elizabeth and Becky suddenly shows up in front of me with a child, a toddler.
Mhm.
And I was like, whoa, wait, where did this come from? And so Becky told me that they actually had a child on the other side, but because she didn't want to do the whole baby thing again, it was a little toddler, like a 2-3-year-old baby, or toddler, I should say. Yeah, it caught both Elizabeth and I completely by surprise. So yeah, I guess she's been showing around a lot with the baby, right? Is she
Mhm.
gonna be Rose?
Yes. Well, I would like her to be, but I don't know what Becky really feels about that.
Becky keeps calling her Rosa.
Really?
Yes.
Rosa?
Yes.
Okay.
She keeps
Okay.
saying Nina Rosa.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
that. I like
Yeah.
that.
So but yeah, she definitely liked the idea of the you know, using the rose since it's so important to both of you.
Mhm.
But she just really wanted to pop in, say hi, say she's talking nonstop, and you know, if you're hearing her more, it's because she just really doesn't stop talking.
Never.
So,
Well, I've been talking to her a lot too, so.
well, that helps. The back and forth helps. And, you know, I see what I can tell you is that from the last time that we spoke till now, I do see you more confident about actually hearing her. And I'm seeing Becky say, yeah, she is. She's hearing me
Mhm.
more. So,
Yeah.
just, I think you two are doing great. You're on the right track. Finally,
Thank
right?
you. Yeah. Yeah. We've worked really hard to get to this point. So
Yeah. And
we
you know,
have.
how long you guys been doing this for what, almost 2 years now?
Yeah, it was 2 years on Monday. That's
Yeah.
why I made like this big celebration for her and everything. She said, she told me last year she likes her angelversary better than her regular birthday. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Well, she's
we
closer to
celebrated
you
all
now.
week.
She's closer to you now than she was before. So I guess that's probably why she likes it better. but yeah, it's I do see a difference in you. But I mean, that's about it. Is anything else you want to ask Becky? Say to Becky, well, she'll hear you anyway, but anything you want to ask?
Well, I just wanted to know that if she enjoyed our week together. I really tried to make it special. And
Okay, well, she's being a sassy pants right now and saying, do you really need to ask me that?
okay, yeah.
I think you got your answer, right? You know that's her when she starts sassing you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, that's about it. Not much to report. So on her end, just that she misses you. She's
our what do you call it? Our portal.
she has kind of backed off on me because she knows I'm behind. But
Oh, okay.
on
I was
Create
just
Portals.
wondering.
No, she's talked to me some about it, but she's backed off a little bit because I'm a little bit behind on the whole portal work. So I told her,
It's
"So
okay. I
stop
was just
talking to
wondering.
me, otherwise I can't finish what I'm working on."
You're pushing my baby away. No, I'm just kidding.
Just a little. I have to put her in timeout sometimes. No, she does come and talk to me from time to time, but just basically to check in. You know, I guess now that she's connected with me, it's been, you know, come visit, come say hi, check
Oh,
in.
that's good. That's good.
So yeah, apparently we
That's
have become
good, 'cause
friends
we're
now.
keeping you, you know.
I didn't know that. All right,
You're the
sweetie.
aunt of our child.
Yeah, I'm the godmother. All right, sweetie. Well, I will talk to you soon. But I'm glad everything is going okay with the two of you.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
going great. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Wonderful. All right.
I'm going to actually choose Chuck Terry, because I know, Chuck, you sent me a direct message, and I think your question, and I'm sure there's more you want to ask me, but I think your question is one that everybody probably relate to. So do you want to come on here with me? Let me spotlight you. Hi there. There you go. So I know you said that you're okay. We're just going to do it this way anyway. The main thing is we just get to talk. So Chuck, just tell me what your what share with everybody what your question was, and then whatever else you want to help with.
My father passed away probably 12 years ago. And the last 3 or 4 years, after meditating, I have addressed him and just had some questions, and I would write down the things that came into my mind. And I've had some very interesting things. But after doing this for a couple of years, it's still really difficult for me to tell whether it's my thought that's coming in or whether it's his. And so, what I was interested in is if he has any message for me that might reinforce something he's already told me. I'm also open to anybody else in my family. I have several people that could have messages for me, but that's really my question mainly, is that after all this time of talking to my father, I've probably got hundreds of notes of conversations we've had, but I'm still in that space of wondering if that's my thought or if it's his thought when I receive things.
So have you asked them to share with you something that you don't know? Or have you noticed that the language is different from yours, or the way that how it expresses himself? Because the thing is, when we hear them in our mind, like if it's telepathic, what have you, it's still in our head, right? So of course it's hard to separate, to think like that's not you, because it is coming into your head. So how can you, right? How can it not be part of you? So we have to evaluate it based on what's being said and the language used. So for example, like with Alan the other day, and I posted it in my group, and I said, well, he, out of the blue, he starts calling me, oh, you're my little minx. And I go, what is that? I don't even know what minx is. Like, I think I know, but I really don't know. And I know that I wouldn't be putting that in my head, saying, oh, you're my little minx. Like, where would that came out of the blue, right? So I go look it up, and sure enough, it says one of the meanings is a young girl or woman who is rather flirtatious or even wanton, you know, like, and I just started laughing, and he says, yeah, you're my saucy little minx. And I go, okay, I know that's you, because why would I make that up? It just came out of the blue. So it can be like how it comes, like it just comes suddenly, and it's in a language that you wouldn't use yourself. And also, what is it saying? Like, what did they just tell us? Is it something useful, something we didn't know, right? Something that is helpful? That's all we can really go by, because they're not necessarily going to sound different. You know, they could, but it's funny. Alan had a British accent, but I have talked to other people who I know who hear him, and my one friend said, yeah, he doesn't talk in his accent. And I said, no, he doesn't talk in his accent to me either. I don't know why. And she says, yeah, but David Bowie talks in his accent to me. And I go, well, go figure. David Bowie will talk in his accent, but not my husband. So we're left with that, you know. And Alan's saying, well, I didn't like my accent. I just wanted to not have an accent. So we're just left with doing our best with that and going by what is the content of the messages. And do they help us? Does that make sense? Is it because that's all you can do? You know, there's no. To me, the only evidence is when what's said is so unique, right? Like what happened to me with this saucy minx thing. I just cracked up because, and then I saw him looking through the dictionary. Like, I'm gonna look for other words that you don't not familiar with. Okay, fine. Send me that as signs. I want the signs of these words that I don't know. Good luck though. My vocabulary is pretty good, so good luck with that. But you ask them for signs like that, like give me information that I don't know that's useful. Something, say it in a way that I would never think of. But I will tell you that it's not easy to have a conversation with yourself. So if you're feeling like you're having the dialogue with your father or any for that matter, you are, because try it. You can't have a two-sided conversation where you don't know where it's going, and you're just having this back and forth, and you see where the conversation leads and how it's natural, like you'd have it with anybody. So I think we all have to kind of accept that what's happening is happening, and then look at what am I getting? What is information, and how is this flowing? When I teach classes to people, one of the things I tell my students, well, try to have a two-way conversation with yourself deliberately for like 5 minutes. Like, go. And they'll try and they'll go, well, that's really hard. I go, you think? Of course it's hard. If you try on purpose to talk to yourself about something and have a conversation that flows, that makes sense, how do you do that? This is not something that comes normally to people. So trust it. I assume that you wrote the messages, like you wrote what he was saying to you.
Yeah, I always write the question and then I write the message as well. When I first started doing this, his sense of humor really came through. I don't
Yeah,
get that as much. He does a lot of wordplay that's always kind of funny.
yeah,
And I asked him to put a thought into my head that I wouldn't say. He was a farmer.
yeah.
And the thought came immediately, till the cows come home. And he used to say that, and I thought, okay, that didn't come from me. But you're right. It's definitely a two-way conversation. But I guess one of the things that raises a question for me is we talk about spiritual things, and he's never really said anything that contradicts anything I have learned in that spiritual realm. And I sometimes wonder if, it seems like I wouldn't get everything right all the time. So most of what I hear reinforces what I've already learned or thought. And so I haven't really asked him to give me something that I couldn't possibly know. I'll probably focus on that. I think that's a great idea.
Have you tried to ask him on that subject? Okay, Is there something that, yeah, that I don't understand about this subject that I already know? Just some, because it could be that what you've already learned is pretty much like what what I heard my husband say is, well, whatever you know, it's pretty damn close. So there's not that much, discrepancy, but you could ask him, is there something new that, that I don't know that you can share? And ideally something that you could research and confirm that maybe others have said, but then you could look into that, right? You could research that idea. But it could be that at least he feels that what you know is pretty much, it. He's not gonna, quibble about that.
Well,
So
he's told me things that I've later read in books and found they're just obscure things, and I thought, wow, that already came to me from him. So when those things happen, I really do think it's his voice. I do sometimes I feel like I'm wandering off the path and like it's my own thoughts. So I'm still working on just distinguishing those, because I do think the communication's happening.
Alan's saying it definitely is happening. If you just go all in and trust it, then more of it's happening. But the minute we start going, yeah, but I don't know, well, we just like pinch it down a little bit. He's kind of like, he kept telling me, you got to go all in. You got to go all in, and don't give a rip if you don't have it 100%, that you only get, oh my God, only 95%. Oh, that's horrible. Like, let it go. Just be okay with the 95%, because he's saying that's pretty much what he's gauging you at with your father. You
Well, I
cannot
appreciate
have
that.
100% communication from the other side. Nobody in a body, he says, can have 100%. We're talking about percentages here, like 85 and up is high. What you have, he says, is really high already.
I appreciate that, because he often will tell me, I'll ask him, am I getting this right? And he will usually say most of it or the important
You
things.
can't get all of it. Alan said that some of it we wouldn't understand. So they go, well, there's no point in me telling. For example, I just want to give this example. He says, there are a lot of people who cannot accept the idea that they create their experience, like all of it, okay? But that's the only thing that limits spirit communication, is our belief system. If your belief system is very open, there's probably no limit. But most people, they have limits. They have a lot of limits on that belief about spirit communication. So, or some of it they may not even be conscious of. It could be on an unconscious level. But because this is such a kind of a taboo subject, right? Actually through history, like they've been trying to control us in our communication with the other side for obvious reasons, because then you would know you're immortal, then you would turn to God yourself, then you wouldn't listen to the powers that be. Just go, you don't know anything, I'm just going to go straight to source and get all my answers. So nobody wants that. So he says, so that therefore you don't understand that you do create everything. But if because he told a friend of mine that, and at first she was like, what? And she later realized, oh God, that is right. That's the only thing that limits communication between both sides of the veil, is our belief system. Nothing else. There's no rule. The veil is completely self-created by the collective, right? Like all of us, and then individuals. And that's why some individuals can communicate through the veil very easily, because they don't have any beliefs that hinder that. Okay, but there's no special secret. It just all comes down to belief. So if you were to go all in about your father and say, I hear him clearly, I hear everything I need to know, whatever I don't get right, it's not important. Because guess what? If it was really important, your father would tell you. Because Alan's told me the same thing. If you got something wrong that was really critical, I would tell you. I'd find a way to tell you. So if it's not that critical, who cares?
Well, I really appreciate that. And one last thing I'd just like to mention, I was not especially close to my father when he was alive. And it's been really an interesting process to feel like I'm building that relationship now that he's on the other side. It's been really a rewarding thing.
That's beautiful. I love hearing that, because I've heard from few people that they didn't have a good relationship with their loved one for different reasons, obviously. But then when they crossed over, they came through and said they want to. They want to heal that. They want to have a new relationship. So it's never too late. Alan and I didn't have the perfect relationship either. It was good, but it wasn't all it could have been. So he came back and says, I want to give you that relationship because we never got that. So it's like we had to kind of starting all over again. But everybody can start all over again or get the relationship that they never got, because guess what? We don't die. So we're going to, see them again, right? And we're going to resume our relationship. And before I let you go, I just got a message from Kathy. She says she has a message for you, so I'm going to have Kathy come on here. She's getting something for you. So hold on, Kathy. Hold on here, and I'll find her in the sea of beautiful faces that I see before me. Kathy, there you are. Okay.
Hi, Chuck. So when Pam was talking, I was tapping in, and I felt like your dad, I could feel that you guys weren't close. When you were growing up, I feel like he was showing me that he might have been like, I don't know if he was on the quieter side, but I pick up quieter in the sense where he wasn't one to really give a lot of good jobs or, like you got it, like that. When you were talking about your dad not contradicting you or something, he was showing me that he wants you to know that he said he wants his son to know that he's right. He says it was feeling as like he was making it up for making it up to you. Because he said I got the feeling that he's telling me that he wasn't there to make you feel like you were being heard when you were smaller. He wants his son to know that and feel okay and stay. He wants you to stay with your beliefs. Like he didn't have to contradict you because he felt that it's your journey and you need to believe and stand strong with what you feel. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he said that he's like, he's making that connection with you and he wants you to know that even when he was in his body, even if he couldn't express himself, he did feel that for you. And then now that he's on the other side, it's because his ego is out of the way, it's easier for him to express that to you and hear you and listen to you. So he listens to you, he hears you. And like what Pam was saying is like what's coming through to you, he's saying like, yeah, that's right, and he really wants you to honor what you feel and what you get. Does that make sense?
It does, and that sounds exactly like something he would say.
Yeah, yeah. Because he's very proud of he's kind of a stoic person. He comes across as kind of stoic. Like he says stuff and it's like, oh, just say a little bit and you figure it out from, you know what I mean? It's like you pick it up and you feel it from there. Does that make sense?
You pegged
him. Like he was trying to make me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but there's a lot of pride in him and he's very proud of you, and that's why he comes to you and he talks to you and he listens, and now he's like, I hear him say, I just sit back and I listen and I enjoy the conversations now. That's what I'm getting from him. Yeah, so I think you're spot on, and I just got chicken skin, so.
So did I. So thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
That's great, Kathy. Look, I found my way back onto the screen.
And Pam, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for asking that question. I think that probably helped a lot of people. So thank you. I hope that did help. But they're always listening. I don't think they'd never not listen, right, Kathy? Like they're always there. It's so funny that people think they're not there.
They listen. I think it's we perceive them to be a certain way. What I've noticed that a lot of times when I've done readings or people have come through on the other side, that they're very different from what they were when they were in their body.
Yes,
some traits are the same, but the things they have to hear is very different because, like I said, ego's not there anymore. So I hear wonderful things coming. They're like, wow, really? He never said that to me. I go, no, but I'm really feeling it, and I really feel that's the message that needs to come through for a lot of times that comes through.
Right. Now they can be who they really were, but they weren't able to be when they were here because they were playing a role, right? They were like, we're all in a movie and we're playing certain roles, but that's not really who we are.
Right.
So we become who we are when we drop the ego in the body and we cross over.
Right.
Thanks, Kathy. That was beautiful. And thanks, Chuck, for a great question.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. You're so welcome. Uh, thanks, Kat. Do you want to choose somebody else, Kathy? Do you feel like, because you said you were picking up on some you're
So
getting some. Do you want to share that for who
yeah,
might be able to take it?
I'll just share when right before I got on, I was just kind of centering myself, and this lady, she kind of reminds me of my neighbor. So I wasn't sure if it was my neighbor who was coming through, but she reminds me of a neighbor, Portuguese. She has shorter hair, curly, had glasses.
So hold on. Let me just explain to everybody. So Kathy's picking up on somebody in spirit, right, Kat? And so she's going to describe who she's picking up on, and we want to know if anybody in our group can take that person. This is what they do in spiritualist circles. They'll say, I have a person here that looks like this, that is like this, blah, blah, blah. And if anybody says, well, yeah, that's my mother, that's my sister, please let us know. You could just unmute yourself and let us know, because I know a lot of people had hands up. So, Kat, okay, go ahead. You can just describe who you're picking up on.
Okay, so she would have been like in her late 60s and 70s. I'm not good with age, but in that area.
I think that's my grandma.
That's your grandma. Yeah, she had a strong, like a stronger. Did she have a strong personality? Like a stronger personality?
Yes.
So you had a strong personality. Like she had like her opinions. Like I could definitely tell. Like she would have been strong. She would have been more of a matriarch of the family. She would have had like strong opinions on how things had to be. And like you didn't mess around with her. You knew that was grandma. And
I wouldn't say anything. I would not argue.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there somebody who graduated recently? Because then I was shown like a graduation. Okay.
Yes.
Because I saw lei too, and to me, leis represents graduations for me. So,
he was wearing a lei. It's my nephew.
she was. Oh, okay. Okay. And she says it's about time. So I don't know. Like it's like the person would have maybe taken a while to graduate, or we weren't sure if this person was going to graduate. It was kind of like
we weren't sure.
Okay. And she winked her eye, like she was joking around. She was just like, I knew he was going to, but she was just joking around. She's like, because she would have been kind of rascal in that way too. Like she would have been, I feel like she would have been like she wouldn't be outright rascal, but she would have been like you would kind of get it when she said it. You know what I mean? That kind of a feeling. Oh, and then after that, I saw like this patterning, almost like a Celtic knot kind of a thing on metal, like this. I don't know what that represents. And that was.
Well, I have jewelry like that, and I do love that.
Okay.
We were in Ireland and Scotland.
Okay. Because I saw that and it was just a flash, and I was like, I'm not sure what this represents. And then I had to cut off because I said I have to go on, so I had to cut. But she wanted to come through and she wanted to like congratulate that person who graduated, because that's what it was. She wanted to. That's why she was joking around. She says, I'm not. It's taken a while, and then like that joking, but she knew. She wanted to know that she was there, and she knew, and that's the thing I got from that.
Nice, thank you.
You're welcome.
Who is this we're talking to? Inessa. But okay, I'm glad you could take that. Thanks, Kat, for
Thank
that.
you.
All right, so I'm going to let you step back, and I'm going to bring Maria back on. Hey there.
Hi.
Okay. Here you go.
I actually want to talk to Judith. Judith Adair.
Hello.
Hi, Judith. So, who would you like to connect with?
Excuse me. Well, I've lost almost every immediate family member. But my sister died on her birthday this past December, the 19th. And we, within a month after her passing, and I think I've told this, well, maybe not, but I was sitting on the side of the bed like I am right now. And
Mhm.
all of a sudden, her presence was so, I felt like I was seeing her body, but I know it was on a different plane of awareness. And she wanted me to know that she was now healthy. She was, she looked beautiful, and her hair was beautiful. I mean, she was never this healthy when she when she was here, and her
Yeah.
skin was beautiful. And she just essentially got right in my face and smiled, and she was saying, "Look at me now. This is it."
Yeah. She was just letting you know she's okay, and going to the other side is not scary, not supposed to be scary. She's looking forward to seeing you when you do cross over. But in the meantime, she wants to be near you. So, yes.
Well, we've always been closer when we were younger, because I mean, she moved to Texas and I'm in Georgia, and she did a bit of traveling and living here and living there. She lived in Hawaii for a while,
Mhm.
and so we didn't get to see each other as frequently because of that. And I'm not a good traveler. I'm just not. But
And she says that problem is fixed now. She can come see you whenever.
well, wonderful. I did talk to her. I talked to Mother, and I talked to her, and so I really felt that intense closeness with her. And I got her message loud and clear. I know. I mean, we can know intellectually that once someone passes over, that they usually are feeling really good and healthy, but to actually experience her is
Yeah, it's
totally
a completely, you feel it in your heart and in your soul. And
different.
it's a completely different feeling, where you're just aware of this, and it's just like it's like that light bulb going off, going like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
So yes,
Just
yes,
tingling all over right now.
yes, 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 she is going to um be giving you unconditional love like you've never experienced before.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes. So she wants to keep a relationship with you. So, she's saying grab a notebook, um, and start writing down what she tells you.
I'm going to be taking a course in automatic writing
Hmm.
soon, not in a couple of weeks or a week or so. I've signed up for it, and
Yeah.
I've got my notebook.
Yes. Well, just, start playing around with it even before the course. You'll be able to get a lot of tricks and tips in the course on how to do that.
Right.
But she's ready to start talking with you and having you take down the messages. And what you can do is, if you have a question for her, you just write the question down, and then you write the answer. You write whatever she is saying to you, and just trust what comes to you. Don't question, don't say things like, or am I answering myself? It's her, and you'll know that.
Yes.
But just don't question it, and just go with your gut and write it down.
And I'll definitely do that. And I do expect to hear from her frequently.
Yeah. And you can hear from your other family members too. Were you close in age to her? Or was there an age difference?
18 months apart.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting that it was either a big difference or a really close
It was close.
closeness in age.
She had felt, my mother lost twins before she became pregnant with my sister.
Uh-huh.
And she always felt that we were those twins that mother lost. And that, well, we were very, very close sisters always. So,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
she really has a strong character. You couldn't miss her.
She's full of life right now.
Oh, definitely.
She's like, bubbly, and like it's like I almost, what I see in front of me is this huge smile.
Yeah, that's what she did with me. That's what
Yeah.
she just radiated joy and health and
Yeah.
happiness and
Yeah.
and
Yeah, exactly. I
when
can feel
think
that.
about her now, when that picture comes to mind, I just start laughing because it was such a wonderful and joyful experience.
Yes, yes. It's it's interesting. It's very interesting. You just, that they feel so much better once they leave their broken body behind.
She was
And
very sick for a
yeah,
long time.
when my grandfather passed away, I was a teenager. Well, not a teenager. I was in my 20s, my early 20s. The first time that he came to see me in a dream, he showed up eating a pizza.
Oh,
And he was so excited to eat a pizza because he couldn't eat pizza anymore. He had heart issues and he was on a very strict diet. And he just couldn't do that anymore. But he was thrilled that he could. That's all I can remember of the dream, really, is that he was eating a pizza.
he wanted you to know that. And my sister couldn't really eat much either for a while before she died. So, and she always enjoyed her food. So I'm sure she's having a good time.
Well, she has a banquet in front of her.
Oh,
That's what she's showing me. Like, actually, what she's showing me is like that big long table that Alice in Wonderland had, full of like sweets and tea and like all kinds of things on it, and she's just having a good old time eating.
I'm glad to hear that. She used her food, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
she's making up for it now.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I really appreciate. That's very important to me. That makes me.
Oh, she will keep showing up to you. You'll find that your relationship with her is just going to get closer and stronger the more time you spend with her. So, have fun with it.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
That just altered my whole outlook today because I wasn't feeling very well. This just boom altered mine.
Good. Well, I'm glad. I'm sure that's her influence being right beside you, because you have to smile when she's around.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely.
And I felt the tingling, and that's one indication.
Yeah, I have it too. I got the tingling in my back. So yeah, she's definitely here with us. So, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So thanks, Maria. To begin. And I want to see if, okay, wait, I'm asking Alan if he wants to say. I know there are a lot of, okay, here we go. I knew there were people with their hands up, and all of a sudden I couldn't see them. So I was looking at, I let Alan choose, actually. He wants to talk to Peter Lauren.
Hello, thanks for calling on me.
Oh, where are you from? Oops, sorry.
From New Zealand.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I got you. Yes, but no, I can't hear. Hold on. I can hear you. Hold on a minute. I can hear you. That's the main part. And I just lost myself. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So from New Zealand. Oh my God, it's what time for you then?
Oh, actually, I'm in Maryland now, but I'm originally from New Zealand.
Okay.
It's about 8:20 in Maryland where I am now. I guess in New Zealand, gosh.
Getting late.
Yeah.
It's earlier, right? It's 1 in the morning.
Yes. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon in New Zealand. Yeah.
Okay. So how can we help you? And
I was hoping to hear something from my daughter, who she passed away back in December.
Was it this past December?
Yes.
Was your passing sudden, like unexpected?
Yes. Okay. Yes to both. Yes.
Alan's saying she's not quite ready to come through yet. He's got her. He says she wants to be sure that if she does come through to you, something about she really wants to be sure you understand what she's saying. And I don't know why that would be important, like that she'd want you to there to not be any misunderstanding. Like I want to be clear. So I'll I'll let you start with that. But he says that she does intend to make contact with you directly. It's almost like he's saying to me, she doesn't want to go through really a medium. She wants to come through to you directly. Do you feel you have the ability to make that contact with her on your own? Do you understand what I mean?
Not really. I tend to have the problem that well, Chuck Terry mentioned that that I might get ideas in my head, but I'm not really sure if it's her or if it's me.
No. Well, but she has a strong personality, is what I feel, and that she'd come through, and you'd know that it was her. You might go, well, you know what I mean? Like he says she has a strong presence, but she wants to be sure you're ready for her, because she could come through really strong, and you'd go, whoa, like what was that? And because Alan's saying too that you're still kind of grieving, and that's fine. Okay, but when you're ready, she's going to come through, because I don't know, she has a strong presence, is what I feel with her. So, and she knows this. So when she comes through, it could be rather startling to you, even if you're wanting it. It could be kind of jarring to you. So, but she has every intention of coming through to you. And Alan's telling me probably I'm getting 2. So I think it's within the next 2 months that she's going to come through more strongly. So what I would suggest is that you simply, give yourself permission to experience her, and just trust what you experience, whatever you see, hear, feel, or know. Because I will tell you that it's very, very easy for them to put thoughts into our head and talk to us that way. It is so easy. That's why we don't believe it, because we think that we're making it up. But then they get really frustrated. They go, can't he hear me talking to him or her or whatever, like I'm talking, and I know it's going in there, because it is easy. And we just think, that's me. That's me talking to myself. That's me. And it's really not. So now what Alan is showing me, and I see her kind of going, yeah, do that, is start writing to her, kind of similarly the way Chuck was describing. Like you write a question, whatever that question is, and then pretend you know the answer, and that's called channeled writing. Okay? And so which it's really simple to do, and especially if you have a loved one on your side, like her, who's strong, who wants to come through, and yeah, she has a really strong energy, and she's going to start talking to you. Okay, now you're going to look at that and go, well, I'm just making it up. But she can and will tell you things that may be surprising to you, or things that you didn't know, or things that you wouldn't have thought of, or tell you information that's helpful, right? That something that's going to happen, perhaps. I'm not saying they all do predictions. Some of them do, but I don't want to, say that necessarily is going to happen. But she can prove herself to you that way, much in the same way that I described earlier about how Alan starts calling me his saucy minx. Where'd the minx come from? I'm thinking like mink coat, right? Like, what do you think? I'm a mink coat? Like, what are you talking about? So I know I didn't come up with that. And I go and look it up, and I laugh, and I go, you're just saying I'm flirtatious. Okay. And he likes that concept for me or something. So I'm saying something like that, where they can start to share what they think, what they want you to know. And also he's saying she has a lot of love to give you too, which she really wants to impress upon you, to feel her love. Okay, not just to look at what is the information, but to feel her energy, to feel her presence and her love. So if you haven't done that, and by the way, it would be normal if you can't quite feel it yet, or not fully, because it's still relatively early days, really. I think the first year is still really early. So So it's
Yeah.
okay. But one of the things that Alan did for me when he first came back is, oh my God, I mean, literally the second day, love, like blast, like I'd go, what is this? Like, like, what is this? I know this isn't me because I'm crying and then I'm feeling all this love, and I feel like I was going crazy, like feeling all this love that would lift me up, and then I'd cry because that was my human reaction. So he was saying that the love is what will heal you, not so much what I'm going to tell you, because you're going to think you're making it up. So, but if you can feel my love, I know that will heal you, and it'll make it easier for you then to connect with me, because I want you to feel my presence. So she's kind of saying the same thing. I want him to feel my presence and feel and shed some of the grief. It's not overwhelming, but it's enough that it's still kind of creating a bit of a discord around you, like disconnect a little bit. But it's not bad. It's not really horrible bad, but lighten that up. She wants to send in her love. Alan's saying that he's going to help her project that strongly to you. So you got to get comfortable with crying. Okay, I know none of us who are grieving want to say, well, I don't want to keep crying. I tell you guys, I still cry every day. Every
Yes, I
day,
do as well.
without fail, but I'm not grieving. I'm not grieving anymore. I just cry because I feel his love. And they want us to get to that point where the grief will always be a little bit there. I don't think it can ever not be there because we miss them. But it's a really on a low level. It's not like it's strong. It's like it's just there, an undercurrent. But what can be more strongly there is their presence and this love that they come in with, right? And that's what they want for us. I want you to feel my love and know that I'm here, and know that I'm not gone. And isn't the love what it's about? It's not just me there physically, although yeah, you miss me because you can't hug me, you can't, go for a walk with me, but it's the love that matters. So she's saying, I want him to feel my love, and I'm going to come through, but you got to be ready, because I don't think she knows how to tone it down. Was she a strong personality when she was in a body? Did she have a
Yes,
strong
definitely.
energy?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
because that's what I'm feeling from her. Like, whoa, like she's going to come through, and you will know, you'll go, oh my God, that's her. I can't deny it, her presence. Okay. But she says she can't really tone that down too much, because that's the essence of who she is, the strong energy. And so what I'm seeing is she can probably like make things happen, like physically in your environment, if she hasn't already done that. But she might be, again, holding back. Like, I don't want to freak him out. I don't like.
I wouldn't mind being freaked out.
She says you say that, but she's erring on the side of like taking her time, because she knows she has time, but she's going to come through. So, but do this writing, okay? Because she seems to be really adamant about it, and you can do it on your computer if you like. But if you feel like you're not getting much mileage with that, and this is true for everybody, by the way, this whole writing thing, writing is the easiest way to connect with the other side, I tell you. And it's really useful, because then you have a record of what they're saying to you. So write your question, write her answer, write your response to that, write her response to that, right? Like you're having the back and forth communication. You can do it on your computer if you like, but if you feel like you're not quite making the progress, or you wonder whether this is really it, you might want to try writing by hand, like in a notebook, because for some people that seems to bring in the connection more strongly.
Oh, I
So
see.
I would say experiment with that, using a pad, a paper, and a pen, right? Because it's something to do with, they can make more physical contact, like with us through our body, through our hand. But fine, some people like myself, like I can't read my writing, so I
Yeah.
have to use my laptop. But I would say to other people, try that. Try using the longhand approach, and do both and see which feels right to you. But channeling is actually very easy, and especially if you have a loved one on the other side who wants to come through and communicate, which she does, and she has a strong energy too. So okay, she's saying that you're probably going to feel something in your arm, like if you write with a pen, even if it's really subtle. you know, and that it could get stronger too. So try that, because she has a lot of energy to make the contact. So I hope that helps, because she's there. Alan keeps saying, yeah, he's saying like 2 months, but more work on you preparing to really be comfortable with her coming through, and talk to her. Let's talk to her. She does hear you. She's saying she's always around you.
Oh.
She's always around you, because she's checking in on you. And she's always, even if she's not checking in on you, she's always aware. It's hard to explain, but they don't have to be like right here all the time to know what's going on. And then they can come in closer, but she's very aware of you, like all the time. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
Yes. Thanks.
strong,
Yes.
strong energy.
Yes.
So,
Thanks very much. Yes, I can't read my writing either, but
well, okay, here's what she's showing me is you could, if you want to communicate with her mind to mind, get a pen and paper, all right? And just like doodle or pretend you're writing. You're not going to write anything legible, but just let that take your conscious mind out of the picture by your doodling, and let her talk to you, because you're giving your conscious mind something to do while she talks to you. You're kind of distracting yourself. So, and then she'll start talking to you. So try all these different ways to communicate, and that I'm saying for everybody, and see what works. And remember, everyone, I want everyone to know, it is usually not like that you've got the problem with the communication. It's them. Like, they don't always come through strong. Some of them come through stronger than others. That's just how it is. So you can't compare yourself to anybody. Some people, I've had clients who say, oh my God, I can't believe I can hear them telepathically. It's been easy. And they were not prepared for that. You know, other people, like, they thought they would be able to hear them telepathically, and it's not been. So it's not necessarily down to us, because these people are having these easy telepathic conversations. They're not necessarily more psychic than the rest of us, just that the loved one over there is really strong in projecting. So we can only do as much as we can do to develop ourselves. The other side still has to work on themselves. I don't think a lot of people understand that. They just think that they'll all be the same, but they're not. They're all at different levels of ability to come through. So I hope that helps you, Peter, and hope to hear how things go from you.
Oh, thanks very much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Thanks. Okay. So we're kind of at the 1.5 hour mark, and I kind of wanted to end a little bit on time, but just to kind of wind things up here and let everybody know that, first of all, that, yeah, they are with us always. They're never not. They can be with a million people. They can be with us and be with everyone else and explore the universe and do all kinds of things. There's no limitation for them. And so if it hasn't happened to the degree that you would like it to happen, don't give up. Just know that they're there. Work on clearing trauma if you have trauma. And by the way, everyone's got trauma. I am actually clearing some trauma that I didn't know I had until I kind of was made aware of it by Alan and one of my friends. And she said, well, yeah, you were married to Alan for 30 years and you didn't really speak your truth. You didn't really tell him what you thought. You just kind of kept everything, quiet. You just kind of wanted a peaceful life. So you didn't complain, not really. And so I need to express myself, and he's helping me clear that. So although my degree of trauma isn't as intense as other people's, it's still trauma. It's still like something that I've got to heal. And he's shown me that once that clears, our communication is going to get even deeper and richer. Everything matters. So the clearer you are as a person, the clearer you are emotionally, right, and balanced and all that, that does matter. because they're on this higher state right now. They're not necessarily dealing with the issues they had when they were here. Now, Alan still has some fear about hurting me because he's kept his ego personality so that we could have a relationship. So he couldn't be completely, let's say, ascended, right? Like, let me just be this kumbaya master, because I wouldn't be able to relate to him. And we're supposed to have this relationship. So same thing is true for your loved one. If they want to connect with you and continue the relationship, they can't be completely different. Yes, they're going to be more loving. They're going to be more understanding. They definitely are not going to be judgmental. But they could, like Alan, have a little bit of fear about hurting you again, or saying the wrong thing, or letting you down, if that's what they did and it really hurt you, like it did for me. So we have to understand that and work on that together. So he's working on his fear. I'm working still on clearing my resentment, which I made a lot of progress on. But all that matters. All that, once it's cleared, makes it easier to connect. So if you're a person that does have anxiety and fear, then you've got to work on that. You've got to clear your trauma. That there's just no way around that. And most people have something to heal. And I think that's why he told me recently, because we have to work more in helping people heal their trauma. So we're going to do more in that area because it's such an important thing. But again, it's not sexy, right? It's just not. People are like, oh, fun, I get to clear my trauma. They don't go hopping and skipping around saying, I can't wait to clear my trauma. But that's what we got to do, guys, if we want to really connect and spiritually evolve and just have a happy life. You got to let go of all that baggage. So this is a good time to do that. So stick with us and we'll take you down that road. Alan's showing me hopping and skipping, hopping and skipping, clearing trauma. He says, we'll make it fun, promise you. We'll make it fun to clear your trauma. So we want to thank you everybody who showed up. And I'm sorry if we didn't get to connect with you. I hope you did feel your loved one with you, and because they still will be after we get off the meeting tonight. And I hope you'll join us next week when we do the healing. We will do some healing of trauma. So Alan's laughing now. He'll say, okay, I'm taking down names and I'm going to notice who shows up next week for healing trauma. You guys better come. Okay, because we all got trauma to clear. Even if you did work on yourself, guess what? You probably got traumatized in this past week, just watching the news, right? So we all got to clear trauma, like constantly. Just clear it, so that we're lighter and freer and happier. And so that's he's saying that's our story, and we're sticking to it. So thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, everybody. You guys will get this video. We'll be sending it out. And again, I hope you join us next week. It'll be the same time as today's meeting. So we hope you join us for that. You'll get, if you're on our email list, you'll get a reminder of that. And if not, we'll get on our email list. Like if somebody brought you here, sent you a link or something, get on our email list, go to our website, supernaturallove.com. Supernaturallove.com is where you can also book a session with me or email me directly, pamjohnson808@gmail.com. Okay, thank you so much. Love you guys, and we'll see you later, right? Hopefully. Bye-bye now.